and school-age immunisation team. Press 1 for Hertfordshire, 2 for Norfolk, 3 for Suffolk. Thank you for contacting the Norfolk Community and School-age immunisation team. We are unable to take your call at present. If you
what a surprise.
Vaccinations or you have a general inquiry, you may like to contact the team by email on hct.c.
And this is what I mean. You see, now you keep going through and now you can't get through to them. And that's where they shut the door on you. Do you see what I mean?
NHS number, if possible.
So now who you're going to complain to? Where you going to go? You see what I mean? And that's what they do. They shut every door or avenue of help. You know what I mean? Because they control all avenues of help.
NHS.net. Alternatively, please leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Our working hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you.
I'll tell them I want immunisation and they'll ring me back within 3 minutes, because if I can leave a complaint, they'll never ring me back. You know what I mean? And that's what they do. They just keep you running around. Do you know what I mean? Look, this is supposed to be a message service, look. Just keeps ringing. You get this all the time. Get used to it. You know what I mean? Hello?
Sorry, HCT Child and Norway transfer is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press hash for more options.
Hello, it's the Profane Macintosh here. I'd like to lodge a complaint up the go-to, if possible. My phone number is 07707 211 939. Have a great day, sugar puffs. Please ring me back. Now, you can use that number anyway. That's one of my profane phones. Do you know what I mean? But the point of the matter is, so if you've got any dirty little messages anyone want to send, go ahead. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? But that will get through to me direct. If I have to put you in my gang stalking files, I will. I love it. Oh, baby. But anyway, that's another story. But this is how they screw you over. Do you know what I mean? All the time. You know, and it's non-stop. Do you know what I mean? Over and over again. And every avenue, if it's owned by Freemasonry, is shut down by Freemasonry. What do you think you're going to complain to? No one. Go to the police. What are they going to do? Nothing, because they're going to shut it down, because the guy who runs that police station is a Freemason and he's going to shush it up. And that includes any investigation. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't matter. You can listen to it all day long. Just look at crime podcasts. You know what I mean? Whether people are being investigated or not is down to that chief inspector, you know what I mean? Or above, you know what I mean? The one who runs Norfolk, for instance, do you know what I mean? It always comes down the pyramid, do you know what I mean? And a constable ain't going to go against what his sergeant tell him. Same as a sergeant ain't going to go against what his captain says to him. Do you see what I mean? And that's how it works, you know? And how compatible you are to their system, which is Freemasonry, because they're all wearing hidden aprons and you don't even realise it. But all avenues of help, regardless of what that is, social services, police, everyone you can think of, is run by Freemasonry. And whether you're going to get help or not is all down. And even if you do, they pretend to help you, but all they're really doing is find out how much information they can glean off you to shut you down, you know what I mean? Or try and wipe the investigation so it goes nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Always there to protect themselves. Do you know what I mean? You've got to understand these Freakmasons. You know, and we're talking about lords, dukes and earls, and they're surrounded by their people, do you know what I mean? You know, within your communities, do you know what I mean? Remember, they've got an advantage over you, They're already born, they're already well established, So as you're growing up, they'll either accept you into the fold, depending on how fucking pliable your brain is to be fucking acceptable of old men grooming you, or they'll shut you down and you'll get nowhere, because you're a threat to them, and that's all it is. You know what I mean? Right now, in this position now, you know, they're looking at your community, who's coming up, who isn't, you know what I mean? And they know, you know, and you can find these pockets of people in certain pubs, in certain clubs that go to certain Masonic temples within your community. You know what I mean? And they're the ones that are running it all, whether it's your nightclubs, whether it's your pubs and everything else, you know, hotels, etc., etc., etc. you know. But like I said, when you get this shit, you get people going into schools, you know, and they're putting, who do you think's putting the children's books into the schools, the paedophilia ones? The fucking government, you know what I mean, which is Masonic. And where do? They go, we're putting this into school. Yeah, boom. Who do you think's putting that through? The town hall. You know what I mean? The people in your town hall who are Freemasons, do you know what I mean? And then when you go complain about it, what do they send? The Freemason Protection Squad, which are the police. Do you see what I mean? Because they shut it down. Well, you got trannies and all the other going into libraries. Who do you think's responsible for that? That's the Norfolk County Council Library. Do you see what I mean? The Freakmasons. But they'll stand there going, that's not us, that's them. And all you're doing is blaming the person behind the desk, like this girl here. You're blaming her. But they're just yes, no. Same as the people administering the fucking thingy. But where did the doses come from? At the main factory. The factories and the pharmaceutical companies that are really owned by Freakmasons. And by the time they've done the damage, they go, oh, that's all done like now. With the other sort of thing, if you know what I mean, what we had for the last 3 years, the damage is done. Do you know what I mean? And they're going away, they're rubbing their hands together, going, yes, what a bunch of profane, stupid people. Do you know what I mean? We've killed half the world, yeah. Half the world don't even realise we've done it. We've also took every business, yeah, that folded, yeah, that wasn't under Masonic protection, and we've bought all them businesses up. So now you've got a divide where we got all the jobs, we own all the businesses, we own everything, and we'll decide who gets profitable, and we'll decide who doesn't get profitable. Do you know what I mean? We'll decide who owns a shop, and we'll decide who doesn't own a shop. We'll decide who runs this and who runs that. Do you know what I mean? Like now, you for instance, you go get a taxi, right? You try and run a couple of taxis, 6 cars. You know what I mean? You'll see, you'll take it in for an MOT, and that'll, funnily enough, some of your cars will start having big major problems, so they don't run. You know, or they'll start getting flat tyres and things like that. Do you know what I mean? This is what Freemasonry do, you know what I mean? And I could go on and on and on for all their little tricks, do you know what I mean? Like when they want a business premises, they just burn the old one out and then they can move, do you know what I mean? Things like that. There's lots of stuff, you know. I'll get so angry over this, but who do you complain to? Where am I going to take my complaint to? No one, do you know what I mean? Because they own the complaint system, because they can shut it down. It fucking makes me raw. These scumbags, yeah, these called fucking Freakmasons, yeah, they don't care about you. If they're raping and murdering their own children, right, yeah, and other children, what do you think they're going to do to your child? Do you think that's safe? You know what I mean? If they're allowing drug deals, yeah, and they're doing the drug dealing, yeah, do you think they care about what you? It's already affecting them, let alone anything else. No one's doing anything. And they're controlling it all in your towns, in your cities, and they're the people you're fighting. And if you're not willing to pull the trigger on them or stop them, nothing, you'll never get anywhere. They'll run riots like they do everywhere else, you know what I mean? And it's always the people that are most dominant, yeah, that are willing to pull the trigger. Don't matter how many people you're willing to march on the streets, thousands or hundreds. If you're not willing to sort them out, then you're going to be nowhere, you know what I mean? And it's as simple as that. And every time there is a revolution or whatever, you get called a terrorist. Do you know what I mean? That's what happens, you know, like me. I'm on a terrorist list. I'm on a vomit list, a victim of Masonic ill treatment. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But these people are not being watched. They're not terrorists. They help them. Do you know what I mean? Because they keeps that chaos going within your communities, and they're grooming your children all the time, generation after generation after generation. You know what I mean? And they'll always be doing that. Anyway, I've got to go because I get too angry. I fucking, you know what I mean? It's just, anyway, I need to go calm down. You know, some days, I'll tell you, some fucking days. Anyway, my profane friends, have a great day.